Welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. I'm your host, Christie Taylor, and I love music. Yeah, I know that's a song, but truly, I love music, and I love learning about the up-and-coming generation of great singers, songwriters, performers, and I have one today that I'm excited about having a chance to get to know, and he's straight here from the 901. Yes, that's Memphis, and I'm talking about Memphis, Tennessee native J Howell. He has music lovers in a tight hold with his soulful, polyrhythmic, passionate vocals and transparent, thought-provoking lyrics. And I've been watching his YouTube channel, so let me tell you, it's the truth. With his first EP, RedRoom, J Howell has instantly gained a plethora of fans all around the globe. And let me tell you, these Howlers, I think I said that right, do not play about their J Howell. With a new project expected to drop late October or early November of 2020, J Howell is making sure his fans appreciate his growth, but wants to make sure his fans still feel the passion, pain, and love embodied in RedRoom. Now, however, he isn't putting RedRoom to bed without a dramatic curtain close. October the 29th at the Halloran Centre in Memphis, Tennessee, J Howell will be headlining his very first and sold out concert. We're talking about the RedRoom Experience. And I want you all to help me welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. J Howell. Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm feeling really good, and I have been vibing to the RedRoom on your YouTube channel, and yeah, it's age appropriate. It's age appropriate. You know, first of all,
it's for everybody.
It's for everybody, and I want to say you are a native Memphian, so let's give love Absolutely. To your city. I know you got to do it.
Yeah, shout out to Memphis.
So, are you someone who pretty much always lived in Memphis? Did you move around?
No, born and raised. I mean, right now I live in Atlanta, but I'm born and raised Memphis, Tennessee, all day. North Memphis to be exact. Douglas to be exact.
Okay. You got to get the North Memphis.
Yeah, North Memphis, yeah.
All right, hailing from North Memphis, hanging out in the ATL. So how long have you been in Atlanta now?
It's been just a little bit over a year now.
Okay, excellent. So let me talk about, your musical upbringing very quickly. And I want to say I was prepping for the show, and I was talking to one of my consulting clients and said I was going to be interviewing. I said, do you know a young man named J Howell? And it turns out you all used to go to church together, and even her daughter went to school with you. We're talking about Sherry Self. I'm sorry, let me say it again. Sherry Self and her daughter Jade. So was church where you started singing?
I didn't start there, but I started going to church. It was a while ago. Yeah, I didn't, but I sung in the choir there, but I didn't start there. But yeah, I know the Self family.
Well, I want you to know, even though you didn't start in church, apparently you made a big impression on her mom because Sherry said that she wanted to go to your RedRoom Experience that you're having at the end of the month, but her daughter was like, "No, Mom, you can't go." She already had tickets.
Welcome. We need to get her a ticket. I'll tell her. I got to make sure I get her in there.
Well, you know something, I think it's probably more so Jay doesn't want her mom probably seeing the way she's going to be responding to this amazing music. Let's talk about your musical start. You say you didn't start necessarily in church. So where did you get your spark as a singer and songwriter?
So it initially started in elementary. I had a choir teacher. Well, at first I wasn't in the choir, but a former friend of mine was in the choir. And like one day we were just in class. I remember we were singing. I don't know what song it was, but I ended up singing along with my friends. And they was like, dang, you can really sing. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I was leaving after school one day. And Miss Sullivan, she stopped and she was like, hey, come in my office real quick. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what I did? I'm just trying to go home. But she asked me to sing for her. I sung. She was like, baby, you have an amazing voice. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay. Like, I didn't really, it wasn't a thing for me. Mm-hmm. It was a Black History program coming up. She asked me, would I mind singing in it? And she gave me a solo, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And just so happened my auntie was coming to the Black History program because I had a cousin who was already in the choir. And so as I'm performing my solo, I found this out years later, but my mom said that my aunt called her and was like, hey, I'm at the school. It's this little boy singing. I want you to hear him sing. And so my mom was like, okay, let me hear it. And then she let her hear it, but she didn't know it was me. And then my mom was like, who is that? She was like, girl, that's your baby. And my mom was hollering and crying all at work. And I found this out years later because I never knew like how my mom found that I could sing.
Wow.
And yeah, since it just kind of went from there, my mom started taking me to different plays and just, getting me in a lot of stuff. And my dad taking me into my first sessions in the studio. And it was just like, it was just something that just kind of blossomed. I was told I was good and I just kept rocking with it.
Something, it's beautiful when you're in a city where people appreciate musicians, and the very fact that your mom even knew your mother and father had an opportunity to put you in the room, because there's a lot of singers and a lot of studios and a lot of people who will help nurture that gift. So also shout out to your school teacher. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah. I still talk to her, through Facebook, but she always tell me, just giving me encouraging advice to keep going. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, like I would have, never known. I guess I never would have tapped into singing. It took her to bring me in. I'm like, okay, well, she's a choir teacher, and if she giving me a solo, and
I was noting that too. I was noting that in your story that she had you even skip being in the choir. Like, hey, here's a solo for you, baby.
Oh yeah, it was straight to front and center, and I love that part about it as well.
Wow. So as we're going through the school experience, when did you really? Okay, of course, your mother and father are exposing you, even with your father putting you in studio environments. When did you decide, like, this is going to be my life? Because there's a lot of great singers in Memphis who don't make it their career. Yeah. When did you decide that was like, this is life for me?
So I feel like, and I understood exactly what you just said, because I've always like known I wanted to sing, like I wanted to do music. But it wasn't honestly until like after I dropped the album RedRoom, but it was right before like people really was just catching on to it. I think I had my first single out, which was Talk, and in Rochester, New York, it was like doing really well over there. So I got booked for a show out there. Mind you, I have never been to any part of New York. I have never been to never heard of Rochester. And I went. And it just changed my whole perspective, because like I thought I was going to just do a show. Normally I mix in like covers and what I'm saying, because you expect people not to know you. And that was the first show to have these people crying, singing word for word. I'm talking about, it was a sold out show. It was packed, like front to back, it was packed. And I was just mind blown. Like I wasn't expecting that. I just wasn't expecting it. So I think, I know in that moment, like I knew like, yo, okay, this is it. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. I've always known I wanted to sing, but that was like my stamp moment. Like, I can do this. Like, it's going to be plenty of more shows like this sold out. It's going to be arenas. Like, I just knew it was something. I can't explain the feeling, but I remember like I just cried that night, when I got back, by myself. Because it was just mind blowing.
Some people call those being in the zone or your God moment, where you
and that's another thing. It wasn't like a, normally when I'm performing, like it's like an out of body. You get off, you don't even really remember. Like this time I could still see faces. I could see this person crying. Like it was just such a surreal moment for me.
Wow. I'm so glad to hear that, that your destiny was just lining up with your gift, and you flowed with it. Oftentimes we do know people who don't flow in their gift, and they miss out on the beautiful opportunities. And I'm glad, J Howell, that you actually, tapped in early.
It's a scary thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And most people don't understand pursuing whatever your dreams are can be very daunting, scary, the uncertainty of it, all those things, but you, from even a child, you've been having the right people stepping in, providing you that support. Even the fact that you're being booked in other cities and even producing music that's being placed, that means you were also not just singing around town, you were putting structure in place. Can we talk about how you decided to also put more like a team in place to help you?
So the team The team came. Okay, so I've been working with my producer, the guy that produced Red Room.
Yeah.
I've been working with Teray. Shout out to Teray Love if he's watching this or sees this.
Yes.
Since I was 16, I was introduced to him. It was a lot of just mutual people, but my dad met somebody at Guitar Center. That person said, oh, I know this producer. It was just a lot of, that happening. But I got in the studio with him, and of course, he fell in love with working with the kid. And we just kind of
was that your nickname, the kid?
No, I'm just saying the kid.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, our chemistry was great. We just vibed, I fuss, he fixed it, and it just worked out. So, so yeah, we was just recording. We just spent like literally since I was 16, just recording songs. A lot of the songs will never see the light of day, but we just perfected, and like I wanted to, just learn my voice and grow into like, what it is I want to do, and just, we took time to do that. And around like 2018, I want to say, I worked in home health care. Like all my jobs have been home health care. I've only worked with the elderly since I've been working. And that came from my mom. My mom worked at Graceful Nursing Home like for years. So, and that's where I started singing at nursing homes as well. Yeah, that's where the plays took place. So they all just tied into each other. So I got into that field as well because I knew college wasn't for me. So I started working, and I ended up meeting my manager at the time, her name was Lena, and her husband Lex, and they both owned one of the home care facilities. But anywho, they were business partners with my now manager, Lester Pace.
Who is amazing. Who is amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they told me, they was like, we got a friend, he works in the industry, we want to introduce y'all, we love your voice. They ended up coming to, I think, a show one time or something, or I let them hear something. I don't know what it was, but met Lester Pace. He came to the studio, very intimidating, very much like Joe Jackson. He came to the studio and we playing the music. He looked so like unimpressed. And so we get down playing and he was like, y'all, this is amazing. He's like, y'all need to put this out. Like he just pretty much forced me to put it out because I didn't want to put the music out yet. I didn't feel like it was ready. And
so that was Red Room?
Red Room, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, every song wasn't done. I think the only songs that I didn't have yet was like Something About You and maybe When We're Making Love. I'm not sure. But it was like two songs that probably weren't done yet. But like all the rest of them were done. He was like, y'all crazy. Like, y'all need to put this out. And so he was like, he brought us, he wanted to come on board and we wanted him to manage. And we all just kind of been rocking ever since then. He's been going above and beyond. So shout out to Lester Pace. But that's the team. And we just,
I want to say that, the very fact that you have been allowing yourself, like, as I said earlier, to really go with the flow of this, because sometimes those are the hurdles that artists have, being able to have those God moments where you connect with people who can help you take your life to the next level, your business, your company, in this case, your career and the entertainment industry to the next level. And Lester Pace is someone who has definitely deep roots in this industry and knows it inside and out. So, wow. And speaking about your album, since you said that you were actually learning your voice, and that was something that stood out to me, that you were giving yourself the opportunity to learn your voice, not only as a singer-songwriter, but in the confines of a studio. That is amazing, because when I was listening to your project, that makes sense to me, because I'm like, wow, you effortlessly played with certain tones, some of the inflections. And now I can see it's because there was no pressure. You were exploring yourself, and it sounds really good. And actually, I do like that song, Something About You.
Yeah.
Okay. It's more like Something About Ya. I don't put the Memphis cha on there. But the music videos, can I also talk about, in addition to how much play and effortless creativity in your music and in your voice and the musicality, is the music videos. You got to tell me, when did you all make that investment? Because they are high quality, high level, amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we pretty much just, I think Lester I just kind of let him take the wing with the
mastermind that.
Yeah, and we come up with the concept. We all agree on it. And we just like, cool, let's just shoot it. I also always want to, well, the newer videos I plan to, because I want to get into acting. So I want to start bringing more of that element to my videos and like having a storyline and, you know, just really making it something to watch, you know, and not just, I mean, the glitz and glams is good, but I don't know. I just want like meaning behind them and start building more stories and stuff and just really going more in depth with it all.
I will say that something about you. By the time she showed up at the house and he closed the door and she looked over her shoulder,
the little evil look she gave.
Yes, I said, "Oh, she better get that smirk." She gave that smirk, honey. I love it. I love it. So, okay, new music is definitely on the horizon. But before we can get to the new, we have to celebrate RedRoom. And can we talk about the impact that you have made with RedRoom? Both locally and across the country. Yeah,
it's been really crazy. As you know, I put it out in 2019, August of 2019.
Right before the pandemic, right around the corner.
Yeah, pandemic was right there, like waiting, and so it kind of put a little damper, but actually it didn't at the same time because I ended up I was uploading just a random video. My everything on Instagram. It was just content because like we're locked in the house. I'm like, cool, I got a mic, I got this, I got that. Let me just sit here and sing. That's what really, you know, nobody cares. Just sing.
Is that how you got to the acoustic version of everything?
My everything that's the same. I just took the audio from the video.
Wow.
Because I didn't have time to like go and actually record it and get it mixed and do all that. People just like, yo, can you put this out on, you know, so we can download it? I'm like, cool. Let me just take the actual audio. Yeah. We did try to like master it so it wouldn't be as loud and distorted. But I just stripped the video and put the audio out. That's all I did.
Wow.
But yeah, through pandemic, even releasing that song, like they helped a lot and helped grow my fan base like tremendously. And I think because people had so much time to sit and just, you know, sit.
One thing, you know, discovering new artists, you know, anything that you were into, 2020 was a great time to do that. So how have you been able to, should I say, capsulize your 2020 into 2021?
Like I said, definitely growing the fan base. I did a lot of Instagram lives. We had like RedRoom live concerts on my Instagram. I just really got more because I wasn't a social media person. That's nothing that Lester like has always had to be on me about. I hated like social media. I hated having to post or like talk, and it really forced me to just get more in tune with my fans, find out what they like, find out what they like want more from me, and yeah, I feel like that really helped. And like I said, I pretty much focused on just growing my fan base throughout 2020, and I did that. We did that, and yeah, just worked on content.
What's been the biggest takeaway from your fan base, because they have a special name?
Howlerz.
The Howlerz. Okay. I said, I don't know if I said
they chose that too.
They did. Oh, wow. So how did, first of all, your fan base get to the point within a good year, to the point that you have a name? I mean, you got like Beyonce has the Beehive. Now we got J Howell and the Howlerz. So how did it come to be to that?
I think randomly one day, I don't know if it was, I don't know, somebody initiated it. And then I ended up sharing like a poll that they created. And then I ended up creating a poll and just basically I asked people to like recommend names, and then I made a poll, and then they all just kind of chose Howlerz. And, you know, we've been rocking ever since. Shout out to my Howlerz.
You know, they're screaming. Yes. And before you go on to new music, you say you want to make sure you know, don't just put this amazing EP that has brought you to the world stage.
No more. It's an album.
Oh, it's a full album? Okay.
Yeah, RedRoom is an album.
Okay. You know, I'm glad to see.
EP too at first, but it's an album.
It's a whole album. Well, let's make sure that we understand a whole album that's available on all digital platforms. They can go get it right now. You can vibe on it at YouTube. I mean, definitely check him out on his website. And to celebrate RedRoom, the album, you are actually going to be doing a special event.
Yes, the RedRoom Experience. And it's sold out, which is crazy.
Wow. How did that happen? Okay. So first of all, the RedRoom Experience is going to be taking place at the Halloran Centre, downtown Memphis on October the 29th. So what can we expect?
Just a dope, intimate night. I'm really just ready to like just see my fans, sing with them, sing the songs that they've been wanting me to sing that I probably haven't done yet. Like When We're Making Love, I've never performed it live. Fire,
Which is very
Rock,
good.
I've done it probably like twice. But just to really give them all the songs they've been wanting to hear, and also just for me to tap more into my who I know I can be live, because I feel like sometimes you wait for those moments to like really tap into like whatever this alter ego is, and it's like I shouldn't have to wait to tap into it, but I should do it every show.
Honestly, from all of your, I'll say, your online presence, your alter ego is amazing. He has like mad suave charisma. I mean, let me just put this back up here. Can we talk about the vibe?
I'm rough right now. It's okay.
No, I'm just saying, just the look that you're giving us, with the hats, the whole sexy vibe. I mean, it is really reminiscent of some old school singers, soul singers. Who have been your inspiration, even with your look as well as your sound and your musicality?
Got you. So starting out, my biggest, like, who I loved and adored vocally was Christina Aguilera. Okay. So I picked up a lot of the grit and the growl. Beyonce is my complete idol. Anybody that knows me, they know that.
There's something you did, and I was like, oh, that's a little Beyonce flair on that. Okay, I
hear it all the time now.
Yeah.
Style wise and just, I don't know. I love Miguel, and so just that whole edginess. I just love all of that. So it's just a mixture. Listen to a lot of blues growing up, so I've been influenced by a lot of people.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about the Memphis influence. Any particular artist, or just blues overall, or more important, rhythm and blues?
Of course, like the Al Green. That's.
You said that's just a given. Come on now.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's just given.
Yeah, Al Green and Grit.
I grew up to a lot of people. It was just a lot. I listened to it like growing up, a lot of Johnny Taylor, Sir Charles Jones, from Gerald Levert to Luther. Like my mom, she played some of everybody. Betty Wright. So I just listened to a lot of good soul music and like Pain. So I think I kind of just took that with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up, this was a great segue, because in your music, you do have a lot of provocative messaging, but more so you do have a lot of pain. And how are you, not saying that you can't have pain at this stage and age of your life, but you kind of like, you're hitting that chord really good.
Yeah. So RedRoom was making around that time, I was, our relationship, and it ended, and it was, it was hard on me. So a lot of that was energy from that. I channeled that, but I'm also like an empath, or is it empath?
Empath, yeah.
Yeah. I always say it wrong.
I'm an empath. Yeah, you're
I channel a lot
from
people that's around me too. Like if I hear about my friends going through something, or around the time, like Love You in the Morning, people will think, that I was just Love You in the Morning came from me in the kitchen with my mom and her friend, and they was over there. I think they was either doing each other hair, or mom, she was on my mom's hair or something, and she was talking about her husband, and she was just like, I love my husband. She was like, but she was like, he just it's so like repetitive. She was like, he needs to be my boyfriend again. I was just like, what you mean? Like, I just didn't understand it.
That's like, old school. That's some old school.
She was like, I want you to treat me like your wife, but at night, pretty much. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, like that's so dope. So that's where it came from. Love You in the Morning, some at night. Right. I was like, ooh, but I don't know. I just take what's going on around me, and I think just naturally, I'm just an emotional person, and I like I said, I want to act, so I like tapping into those things, or like forcing myself to be somewhere I'm not. Like I could be so happy right now and start singing my everything, and you'll think like somebody just broke my heart.
Oh wow! Let's talk about that heartbreak before we get to the wrap up.
Oh Lord.
Just a little bit, because it really did color that album.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
I mean, it was
biggest
just
I'll say it like this. What was your biggest takeaway as an artist and as a man through that experience?
through the breakup.
Yes.
That it really doesn't matter your intentions or how good you are to someone. If they're not in it, they're not in it. And I just kind of learned to just kind of stop always trying to see the best in people, or start seeing more of the best in me, like, because I would have never been in that situation, or I would have realized what I deserved. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned. I mean, I don't know. I learned a lot. But it was just hurtful because that was my first time being in love. And like, I'm a really like to myself person, guarded. I've always been like kind of to myself and just never really opened up and let people into my world, or, you know. And so to let those guards down, and then it's just kind of, you know, it was.
Well,
But
I
I'm
want you
good
to
though. I
say,
got a bum album out
I
of
was
it.
about to say, I said, but you know, that's why some of us love Mary J. You know, Mary J. Blige was like, oh, she's gonna have a killer album this time.
When
Also,
the breakups happen.
Yeah, when the breakups happen, you know, it happens. Marvin Gaye used to tap into it a lot, you know, Jill Scott. I mean, so as an artist, we use all of our life experiences, and the deeper the emotion, oftentimes the more beautiful the gift that we can give to the world. So J Howell, thank you. Anything we need to make sure we cover?
I think that's all. Like I said, check out the album if you guys haven't tuned into it. It's called RedRoom. It's amazing. It's available on all platforms. Follow me on Instagram at J Howell Music 1, JHOWELL Music and the number 1. More shows coming soon. New music coming soon. My new album, it's done. I'm just packaging right now.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
And shout out to all those Howlers that have already sold out your show.
They did.
Congratulations to you.
Are you gonna come? Are you gonna be there?
Well, you know, it's sold out. I'm gonna have to stand on the side of the Heroin and just wait.
I have to get you like backstage or something.
Okay, let me sit in the back. I don't mind. I can stand on the side. Okay, yeah, I can stand over there. I can do you,
and we'll figure that out.
All right, thank you so very much. All right, y'all, be sure to check out J Howell. He's amazing. Straight from Memphis. New energy, new vibe, new soul, and we truly appreciate you so very much. All right, until next time, be sure to check out this and other episodes on Christie Taylor Online. Also, you can check us out on any podcast platform. Much love to you all.